Hi there, welcome to Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works. My name is Katie, username NewToy4Kt. Today is Tuesday, August 17th. Welcome. This week's topic is what was my toughest challenge immediately post-op after having lap band surgery. Again, I was banded on December 17th, 2009. And I'm going to answer this in two parts because I can't really put them in the same category. Immediately post-op, the biggest challenge that I ran into was the gas pains. It's weird to think you have gas pains that settle in like your neck and shoulders, and I know a lot of people talk about it, and you can talk about it all day long, but until you actually experience it, it is a very weird, painful, annoying feeling. Oddly, the only thing I actually felt comfortable doing to get rid of it was walking. There was no amount of pain medicine or complaining that got rid of it. It was really just walking around. So that and broth. I hated doing the all liquids, the whole broth and soup, and no matter how many ways you try to fancy up broth, it's still broth. And even to this day, 8 months post-op, today is my 8-month post-op anniversary, or surgiversary, I still can't do broth. In fact, I rarely do soup unless it's maybe creamy. So I just can't do it. I had way too much of it. I got so burnt out on it. I got to the point when I didn't even want to eat it. I would rather just not eat at that point. So that was the hardest struggle for me post-op, immediately post-op. I would say the second part of that answer for me would be, immediately post-op was, gas pains and the broth. But between like 1 month to 6 months, the biggest struggle that I have had with the lap band, or me mentally, I guess, is balancing foods that I really loved that I shouldn't have now, and portions I put on my plate. As far as balancing foods, I loved Chinese food. I loved Italian food. Those are probably my two favorite foods that I could probably have like every other day of the week. So I was really nervous and worried that I would have to give those things up. I think the one thing I've learned, now 8 months later, is you don't have to give those things up. There may be things you can't eat. I can't eat rice, I can't eat pasta, and if I do, it's going to come right back up. So I know that now, and it took several trial and errors to figure that out. But then once you get to that point, you don't miss it. And I know if you haven't had surgery yet, that sounds so weird, because believe me, I was like a Chinese food and Italian food addict. But you don't miss it. Once you get stuck on it or sick off of it once or twice or 4 times or 8 times, whatever it is, you just don't crave it anymore. So trying to find that balance in my daily food of what I should eat first and what I want to eat first, because in my head before, I would look at a plate and be like, oh, I want to start with this because this looks the best. I now have to really kind of shift my thinking. What do I need to eat first? The protein. So while something else on my plate looks really good, I need to start with protein, A, because it's for my health, and B, because it's going to fill me up so I won't need as much of the other crap on my plate. Second part to that was, filling up my plate. Before, I could fill up, an entire plate of food and then go back for seconds, maybe even thirds, depending on what it was. And I still have that mentality of a big girl plate. And a lot of people, use smaller plates, and I really try to do that, especially for family dinners. I have told my family now, whenever you set the table, set a small plate for me, because mentally, if I see a bigger plate, I'm usually going to fill it. Even though I know I won't be able to eat it. A, I shouldn't be eating it, and I really can't eat it. It's just it's a weird thing. You have a big plate in front of you, and your, I guess, instinct is to fill it. And then you feel bad if you don't get all your food, because we were taught all growing up, don't waste your food. I've learned with lap band, it's okay to waste food. You're going to waste a lot of food. And you'll eventually get to the point where you stop wasting food. Stop putting so much on your plate. Between my 6th and 8th month, I really kind of took a turn for the better with understanding everything, with understanding how important exercise is for me, understanding how much plate to really, how much food to really put on my plate, what calories I should be eating, how much water I really need to drink for myself, not above the 64 ounces. I mean, everybody's body is different, so those for me were the biggest challenges, you know, immediately post-op and then between this, you know, 0 to 6 month range. Again, today I'm at 8 months, and it's still, you know, it's an everyday learning process, but those were my struggles. If you guys have response videos, by all means, please make them. And again, my channel YouTube name is NewToy4Kt, and yeah, if you guys have not subscribed, come on over as well. Love to have you. And yeah, hope you guys have a great week. Thanks.